But sometimes when some people hear 100 million, when they hear 50 million, some people are already demoralized because they are not used to the big words, and that's why you need to get comfortable with money. Hi, good morning. This is Chudi, your real estate boy, your property owner. You call me the last, is it okay? Not the last landlord, but the nice landlord. I share ideas on real estate and how people can be inspired to invest in real estate and doing it right. This episode of Property Income Show is about knowing how to get your property income right, how to start investing massively in real estate, and how to take advantage of the real estate opportunity that life has to offer. So today we're going to be having another interesting, this is Monday, we're going to be having another interesting discussion on real estate and how you can massively invest in real estate. Like what I have always said, real estate is not just for the rich, real estate is for those who want to be rich. Today I'm going to be talking about how you can get started, but the topic will now be 5 things you need to watch out for when investing or buying into a rental income property. 5 things you need to consider when you are buying into a rental income property. What is rental income? What is a rental income property? Rental income property is a property that gives you rental income. It's a property that puts money into your pocket. That you buy a property and that property is giving you regular or consistent income by the investment that you have made in real estate. So what are the things that you need to watch out for when you are buying into real estate? What are the things that you need to consider when you want to buy into real estate? Are you ready? If you are ready, now let us, before we even get started, let me also state this. If you are here to subscribe to our YouTube channel, I need you to go to Chudi, go to YouTube, click on the subscription button so that whenever we upload videos like this, you'll be the first person, or you'll be among the first set of people to be informed of our new videos and content, because we're always bringing content to you so that they can make wise decisions as to your investment in real estate. So and interestingly, I have a book that I just wrote, The Automatic Property Millionaire. If you're also interested in that book, I also need you talking about how you can invest massively in real estate. Somebody read this book, and within 1 month, within 30 days, the person was able to generate personal income of 5 million naira from not just buying real estate, but for selling real estate. It is interesting. So what are we going to talk about today? We'll go to our discussion before the diversion. 5 things you need to watch out for when you are buying into a rental income property for the sake of generating wealth. Number 1, the first thing that you need to consider is that you must consider one, your budget. How much do I have? How much do you have? The first thing you need to consider is your budget. Now, it is not where you start from that matters. Wherever you start from is your platform whenever you invest in real estate. Wherever you start from, no matter how much you have in your pocket, probably maybe you have 1 million naira, you have 20 million naira. Wherever you start from is your platform. And no real estate deal there's no law written in heaven and on earth that says that you must have a deep pocket for you to invest in rental income. No, there's no law. But you must consider what your budget is. You must consider what your income level is. What do I have in my hand? What do I have to be able to invest in real estate? Do I have money? Do I have income? Do I have what are the assets that I have currently? What is my budget? What do I need to get started with? Now, for example, if you have, let's say, maybe 1 million naira, you could just get started in real estate, but you may not get started in the same level that somebody who has about 1 million naira is going to start up with. But wherever you start from is your platform. But what you need to do is that, understand what you have as your assets right now. Now, your asset may not, in terms of when I talk to you about budget, I'm not even simply talking about, I'm not even just talking about just monetary budget. I'm also talking about what your asset currently is at this time. Now, some people invest in real estate using their social capital. What do I mean by social capital? Oh, I have a friend who is interested in, I have maybe when I know what I have as cash, maybe I have just about 500,000 naira, and I need to invest in a deal of, let's say, maybe about 10 million naira. Here's what I'm going to do. I could meet maybe 5 other friends or 6 other friends who will put funds together and we could buy property. Or I could sell a property, raise money by selling a property for them and earning commission. Like I said, I just made mention of somebody who made about 5 billion just selling real estate. Now that individual is able to buy 2 of our properties, 2 plots of land within one of our scheme, Islam Gulf Estate, by virtue of her doing what? By virtue of her using what we call a social capital. So she was able to raise money because she understood that she needed maybe about 1.5 million naira to be able to buy into the project. But she was able to raise money from sales of that same project, and she used that money, the income that she made, to be able to invest in our own real estate deal. And that's the way some smart people are investing. So don't let your budget be, don't let the fact that you don't have enough money be the thing that will push you away from real estate investment. Now, a lot of the time we rig ourselves of exciting deals because we don't have sufficient income. But here is the deal: once you know what the budget is, the budget may be 100 million naira, but that does not mean that you do not have capacity to do a 100 million naira deal. That does not mean that you don't have capacity to be able to, and that is where some of you sometimes you need to be courageous in a bit to moving towards your real estate dream. You want to do real estate, but sometimes when some people hear 100 million, when they hear 50 million, some people are already demoralized because they are not used to the big words, and that's why you need to get comfortable with money. Get comfortable hearing about 10 million naira. Get comfortable hearing about 20 million, 50 million, 70 million, 80 million. Don't let your heart, don't be scared of the money. Guess what? You can sometimes just consider it as numbers. Just say it is 1 million naira. Just consider it as numbers. Because the moment you start putting the heavy money in your head, what you have simply done, and you think that it is heavy, what you have simply done is that you have actually rigged yourself out. Because why? You must think in terms of, okay, I'm capable of doing this thing. You must believe in yourself, and that's where courage comes to play. I remember the first time I went to go price a property, I only had 500 naira in my hand. The 500 naira, who borrowed me? It was supposed to be meant for transportation, but I went to go negotiate about 200 acres of land with just about 500 naira. I didn't have any money. Guess what they did? The owner of the property didn't know I didn't have money, but guess what she put me? She told me to sit at the owner's corner. I sat at the owner's corner going to negotiate for real estate deal. Yet I only have 500 naira in my pocket. If only they knew that I had 500 naira. But guess what? It was that thing that got me started. It has gotten me to where I am today. Now, because sometimes you are looking at your budget alone and you are not attempting big things. And that is where you need to consider. Yes, you will have a budget, but don't look at yourself that you are incapable or that you are not capable of doing great deals. And that is where many people miss out. So sometimes there are many opportunities out there for you, but you are missing out of that opportunities majorly because you feel that you are not capable, or that you don't have the sufficient courage, or probably that it is actually not meant for you. It is meant for Dangote. It's meant for the Otedola. That's what your mind is telling you, that it's meant for some people, but it's not meant for you. And that is where you need to get rid of that mentality. Get rid of the budget mentality. Get rid and get rich and get started with what? The asset mentality. So get rid of the budget. That, okay, I need to start with 100 million. Anywhere you start from is your platform. Anywhere you start from is your platform. Guess what? Another interesting thing that you also need to consider is not just about even just starting, you're just doing real estate deal. Some people say, okay, you need to be able to do massive real estate deals. But guess what? You can say started with massive real estate deals. But here is the thing that you need to attempt. You must be courageous. First thing you need is to be courageous. Number two thing that you must consider is this. You must consider location. Now, when I mean location, I do not actually mean whether you want to do it in Ibadan, or you want to do it in Sapele, or you want to do it in Kogi, or you want to do it in Abia. I'm simply talking about focusing on where people are migrating to. Where are people going to right now? Because let me tell you this, everywhere money goes where people are gathered. So what you need to be doing is that you need to be following the money. Where is the money going to? An indication of where money is where people are gathered. So you need to be able to follow the money. So location majorly is not just about the structure that you have within the particular place. It is majorly about where people are going to. So you focus, so I'm not talking about structures, I'm not talking, because real estate is not about structure, real estate is not about engineering, it's not about achieving one major engineering feat, or maybe the skyscrapers and all of that. Real estate is about people and the usage. So you need to consider, where are people currently going to right now? What is the thing? What is the trend? Where are people going to? People are moving down to Lokoja, or they are moving down to Lagos. So by the time you are investing, you are not investing for emotional reason. You are investing for what? You are investing for logical reason. You are investing because there's an economic value that you are going to get from that investment. So the second thing that you must consider, you must consider the location rightly, and that is where you need to be able to put your money into. Because the reason why people are missing out is because they just want to do real estate because culturally it is culturally right for a typical Nigerian to own a house. But what we are simply talking about when we're talking about rental income development is that we are simply saying that you should invest for what? Where it should invest where people are going to. You should take advantage of the location. Now, every location is not the best location, but every location has its own dynamics of how rental income will work. But here's the truth. The truth of the matter is that real estate investments, when it comes to, it's not about you when it comes to rental income property. If it's about you, you can stay in Jos, no problem. You can live in Abeokuta, no problem. You can stay in Warri, no problem. But the question is, are people moving down to Warri, or is it just you who like Warri? So what you like is different from what the customer will want. And that is why you need to focus on the location where the customers are, and position yourself right there. And guess what? Like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to take so much money, but you need to be able to consider where the market is moving to. So where is the trend right now? Like for example, in Lagos, do you know that people are moving down towards the Ibejuleke axis, and they're moving in their droves? The question is, a lot of the time, somebody will be looking at it and say, I can't buy in the Bejuleke, I can't buy there and that place, I don't like water, that place is not the place that is always flooded and all of those things. But the question is, it is not about what you like, it is about what the market wants. It is about what the market likes, and you positioning yourself for the market. Because sometimes most people have rigged themselves out of exciting deals. Can I make a confession to you? There are some locations that I don't even like. But as long as the market likes it, I'm very much okay. As long as the market is pleased with that location, I'm very much okay. Because why? It is not about me. It's about what the market wants, and me positioning myself for the market. Because most of the time, people get it wrong because they are trying to do what they like, not what the market wants. So location in real estate has to do with what the market wants, and positioning yourself for the market. So the second thing that you need to consider is, where is the money? Following the money is very, very important, because where the money is going to, where the money will come from, is where the people are gathered. So you need to position yourself where the people are gathered. Number 3 thing you need to consider is to consider the house type. Now, it's not just enough to say these people are going somewhere. It is to consider the type of apartment that is suitable to these people. So what is the suitability? And I'm going to be talking about this right now. The reason why there is, you can build a property and people don't take that property. Like for example, I'll give some example. There are some properties in, let's say, in Victoria Island right now. Even though Victoria Island property is very, very hot, but there are some properties that people are not renting. All you just find out is when you come out early in the morning, you see gardeners cutting the grass, you see people cleaning the place, but nobody is occupying that place. Now, what the owners of the property are doing is that property is a lazy asset to them. It is not giving them rental income, yet it is in a great location. So location does not mean anything if people are not using the property. So usability is the key. Now, what kind of property will people use? Now, that is what you need to be able to find as a suitable property for your real estate investment. What kind of property will people use? Now, people can say, I can say, okay, you know what, I just like, maybe I like a 7-bedroom duplex, that's what I want to build. But the question is, how many people will use 7-bedroom duplex? How many people will use 7-bedroom? And that is where people miss out of exciting deals. Because like I said, it's not just about you, it's about what the market wants. And so you need to think in terms of suitability or usability. What kind of property will people use when they buy from, or when they are going to rent this property? Now that is where you need to be able to study the kind of income level of the people that you are pitching to. Let's take, for example, are you going to do in Ajangbadi, for example, maybe is that Ajangbadi, or you're going to do because, oh, you like a 7-bedroom duplex, you're going to set up a 7-bedroom duplex? No. Like, for example, terraces sell on the island majorly, or terraces, people rent terraces on the island majorly because of their income capacity, not majorly because they like, or maybe not majorly because of any other thing, but because that is what their income is suitable for that kind of deal. There are some areas that you have to do is a 1-bedroom self-contained. It will sell, it will pick up very fast. There are some other locations that you probably do, let's say maybe a 2-bedroom. But guess what? What I know that will always work for in any area is a 2-bedroom apartment. Whether you are doing it in VGC, whether it is in Victoria Crest, whether it is in whether it is Chevron, whether it's even in Ibejuleki, or probably maybe it's even in Aja. Anywhere you do a 2-bedroom, it's going to sell. You're going to have good clients for it. So the question will now be, what kind of property are you putting up? A 2-bedroom is workable. A 3-bedroom is not suitable for every location, but a 2-bedroom is a good deal. Why? Because it has great usability. Reason is this: a young family could also pick up that property easily. Even a single individual can also pick up that property. Somebody who has trained all his children and they're all in university, because they're not going to be coming home at any time soon. It's only when they probably want to get married that are going to be coming home. Will also like that kind of property. So it suits all areas. And that is why you need to be able to take up investment such as this. So suitability or usability is very, very key when you are investing for rental income. Number 4 is that you must consider environment. What is environment? Now, when I talk about environment, I'm not simply talking about the infrastructure. What I'm simply talking about in environment is simply this: the mentality that runs in that location. The mentality. I want to use the word environmentality. There is what they call the mentality of an environment. There is what you call the mentality of an environment. What is the mentality of an environment? If you are going to buy into or maybe invest in real estate, now there are some environment that you buy into that it is typical for the people not to want to pay rent, to always delay in their rent payments. And that is where you need to be able to consider such kind of deals. You need to think in terms of what kind of environment are we putting up in this area? What kind of environment is in this place? What kind of mentality runs this particular environment? And that is where, for example, if it's typical for people to be able to just do things anyhow, you find out that your property will just be, maybe for any reason, people just want to pick, maybe in a particular area, they always have, maybe people want to hang their panties up just in front of the house. You find out that you have all of those stuff. Because people who want to pick up your property or who like your property, what it does, as funny as that stuff may sound, what it does is that it brings down the value of your property without you knowing. So what you need to do is to identify the area, the mentality of the people that will be going to be using that property, or the mentality that runs within that environment. So you need to be able to run that, and that is number 4. The number 5th one that you also need to consider is also to consider the income capacity of the people renting your property. Now, the first thing that you also need to do is also understand the frequency of their income. It is not enough for you to say, you know what, I want a lawyer, I want a doctor, I want this one to come and take up my property, and sometimes, and I want a 2 years upfront payment because you want to be assured for the next 2 years. But it's not enough. You also need to think in terms of the frequency of the income of the tenant, and this is also the way for you to be able to determine that. Number 1 thing you also need to you can determine is that instead of you collecting rent on a yearly basis, why not collect rent on a monthly basis? That's the way to save yourself a lot of stress. Now, this thing may not be very popular in Nigeria, but let me tell you this: that is a way to save yourself. Because one thing that you do is that when you are a renter, when you are a monthly renter, or maybe you collect your rent periodically, what you have done is that you have positioned yourself in the mind of the tenant to always want to pay per time. But when the tenant is not used to paying rent, like gas, like for example, if your gas finishes, won't you buy gas? You buy new gas. If your subscription for DSTV finishes, won't you pay for DSTV? You will pay. Now the question is, because people are used to paying, they will continue to subscribe. But when people are not used to paying, because this thing is a mentality, when people are not used to paying rent on a regular basis, what it does is that they create a defensive mechanism for them not to pay. And so what you need to do is to adopt a system whereby, based on this person's income on a monthly basis, this person is able to pay you on a monthly level. And that's one of the things. I can see somebody saying, this thing is not possible. Yes, it may not be possible. The reason why you are thinking it's not possible is because you are doing real estate on what? You are thinking real estate in a small area. You're not thinking of doing real estate by 16 units. I'm not thinking of doing 32 units. Oh, you're saying, oh, that's too much. It's not too much. Guess what? I have a lot of people. This man, Bob Delion, he has more than 12,000 apartments. More than 12,000 apartments that he currently runs in Canada. There's also Robert Fate. Robert Fate has 450,000 apartments. The question is, some of you begin to question and say, these ones, did they do drugs? Did they carry this one and all that? No, because why? You need to think in terms of volume. That is why real estate is a big deal. In our own world, some of us, we have not even scratched the surface of real estate yet. Some of you have just one, you have two, you have three, you are okay. But the real deal is that it's doing real estate in massive numbers. And that's why we are bringing this information to you. So because just imagine that on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, you have about 200 tenants paying you rent, even if it's 10,000 naira every month. 200 people paying you rent on a monthly basis. That is good cash flow. But because you are thinking of it in terms of the small number, you're thinking of it just having one tenant, two tenants, three tenants. And that is why you need to think of real estate doing it again and again. Just repeat the process so that at the end of the day, you can make good income from real estate. I hope I've been able to share the right knowledge this morning. I have this book. This book is out. Lovely book. 1,600 naira is the book. We're going to deliver the book to you once you sign up. It is coachchudi.com, www.coachchudi.com. You sign up for this book, we're going to get this book across to you. We also have opportunity for those who will sign up for this book. We'll be attending one of our class. We're going to hold a class in the month of June. And some people will be privileged to travel down with us to Dubai when they make an investment with us in some of our projects sometime in July. We already have the first batch that will be going to with us in June. That's from the 19th to the 23rd of June. Some of them will be going with us, some who have invested with us. And some of the things they did was that they got information. They understood how this real estate thing works, and they're able to take action on them. So you could be part of those who will be traveling with us, because we're going to travel across the world to go see how real estate really works. Some of us, real estate in Nigeria, we are yet to scratch the surface. But guess what? We are going to be learning the ways where real estate is done properly and inspire ourselves to making sure that we make progress. This is your boy, Chudi Kalu. I'm your boy always. I'm the real estate coach. I'm the millionaire hustler. I show people how to maximize success. Stay rich and free. God bless you. Till we see you some other time. God bless you. But sometimes when some people hear 100 million, when they hear 50 million, some people are already demoralized because they are not used to the big words. And that's why you need to get comfortable with money.